It's like we never left. We're back together again. That big Bedford Buck, and I hope that name sticks. I think it's sticking. The Big Bedford Buck and your man here, Matt Trahan. Super excited to talk with you about a great week that we had last week. Keith, how we doing?
We are back at it, kid. No more conference time. We are back. We are back. And what a great experience that conference was as well.
I'll tell you, if you're going to do a 50th anniversary, I think this was the way to do it. Yeah. Checked over some of the conference reviews. I love what I saw. I mean, more specifically that we've got 5s and 4s ratings on the podcast, and that's what I'm always aiming for.
Absolutely.
I think you and I are certainly into it and enjoy it and get to spend a little time together here and there. What I will tell you is I thought for somebody who's been around a while, and I know that you have too, kind of like you get the rejuvenation. You know what I mean? It was a fun week. It was a good week. A lot of PD. I thought all in all, it was one of the best ones we've had yet.
Listen, I thought everything went pretty smooth. I think for the most part, a couple of hiccups, but we try to keep those hiccups behind the scenes that people don't know about.
Right.
Kind of, get things going as best we can. Everything was great from the section meeting right through and preparing for our conference. The folks that came down early to help set up, which was huge. Having Becky and Dustin there from the national office as well.
They were awesome, weren't they?
Amazing how they just stepped forward and whatever, use us, whatever you need us to do, we'll do it. Stepped right up during registration, everything. They were amazing. One thing after another, and the business meeting ended, and we went downstairs and met with the hotel staff and went over some bills and wrote a check, and then off we go.
Away we go.
Yeah. No, everything went, I think, very well, very smooth.
Yeah, seeing as we got there on Sunday to get some work done, it was a nice slow start, but I'll tell you, it sure picked up. Come Tuesday, it was like bang, bang.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about the award ceremony. I thought that was well attended.
Yep.
I thought that certainly some deserving folks received some awards, but I thought it felt like a high class event. And really, that's what I think we aimed for. I know, we had conversation about, potentially next year open up a second station, keep the flow moving. And then certainly, outside of the conference area, there was a little room there that I thought everybody appreciated as well. So,
absolutely. You know what, Matt? I think you're 100% right. I think the food we got good reviews for the food on Thursday night. We got to throw some shout outs to a couple of our peeps from Carlito's Way, Jim Quattromoni up there receiving an award. But, who was the big man of the hour was the big Tom Toppy there over the Toppy.
Toppy.
Govin kept saying what a great job Jen did as well as
Stop it.
As you can see. But Toppy, the big AD of the year, and well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I've known him for a long time, and specifically have gotten to know him a lot better on a personal level the last 5 or 6 years. But great dude, works hard, runs a big program. Couldn't be more thrilled for him. It was nice to see him and his family. I got to sit at their table and kind of shoot the breeze a little bit. So good.
I did say to him afterwards after he finished the speech. I was expecting a little bit of a shout out to maybe to Carlos, but he goes, I didn't even think about that, but.
I was kind of hoping that he was going to throw that out there because, I mean, that's folks, that's an inside joke. But, for those that are watching and that are involved in that conversation, they know all about Carlos. Yeah. I think actually now that you say that, we could make up for it and maybe have him join us next year at the conference. See if he's willing to come down and keynote speak.
Listen, I was going to say maybe he could even join us, or maybe we could see if we can reach out and get him on the podcast.
Oh,
which would be outstanding.
Now you're talking.
And I will say that, one of the other things we talked about, and before we talk about our sponsors again, which I'm prepped here for this today. I got some stuff here on the side here ready to go. But Kevin Cairo up in 426, man, he strums a guitar and he sings.
Oh, he is a friendly little cat, isn't he? Yeah, he's a friendly cat.
A friendly little cat. We definitely had a lot of memories there. And I did hear something there. There were 2 members of your district, Mr. Carrigan, Mr. Palladino down there as well, who apparently I want to give a shout out because apparently once they get the notification on the phone, this podcast goes live. they stop what they're doing, they jump on, and so
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Yeah,
Mr. Palladino, Mr. Palladino, if you're listening, I shot you an email. I shot you a text. Feel free to get back to me. I'm, trying to set up some winter games. So,
listen,
don't
you
be
know
shy.
what? Most important thing why you want to get back to someone is that you don't want to be a liability. So it's very important to make sure you do that.
Right.
Yeah. So, at this point, why don't we give a little shout out to our sponsor here?
Listen to me. I got to tell you right now, it's always great to be in the company of excellence. And we were in the company of excellence over and over and over again. Gold Athletics, the only way to fundraise. They are a premium partner of MSS ADA, and they hooked us up. I got 4 bags of beef jerky. My kid's eaten 2 already. It's amazing. They are beyond amazing.
Listen,
yes, sir.
I got 4 bags here on my desk. Now I got to have I'm going to be out tomorrow. I have a little medical procedure, but after that, that's going to be my lunch afterwards. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we won't see you. We won't see you at the annual conference then.
Unfortunately, I will not be at the MIA annual meeting tomorrow. Unfortunately,
okay.
It's usually a good event and a lot of good stuff put on there, but I'm unable to attend to that tomorrow. My first time in many, many moons. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, it's one of those things that you're there and you're getting filled in, and I'm sure certainly we'll all keep you abreast of what's going on, and that's what we do. So I want to go back to Gold Athletics for a moment. So it was it was a lot of fun this week. There was a lot of vendors and whatnot, but they have a premium spot. That's one hell of a pinky ring you have.
Oh, listen, Coach. I'm just saying, it's not even that's a last 2 finger ring.
Yeah,
shout out to Ken Nally and his folks for a gift that I gave out to all the athletic directors for the 50th anniversary as well. I'll pop a couple of these different ones up here in between.
Yeah. Well, Kenny was kind of on my case about coming on the podcast, and we can make considerations, but I'm not just giving it away. I think he stepped up with the rings, which is fantastic, and maybe we could talk some business. I don't know.
I you know what, I like where your head's at.
Right. So let's go back to Gold, because Gold, in my opinion, we had a good time with Gold, because it first started out with, I got my bag of jerky, and then I happened to see you in the vendor hall, and then you mentioned to me that you had 2 bags. Yeah. So I went back and picked up a second bag. And then a couple hours later, I saw you with a handful of bags. So I said, oh, heck no. So I went back, and they hooked me up. No, you can't be outdone. You move forward, and you were gifted a T-shirt, and then I might have been gifted 2 in each color. So we were playing the game. Game.
That's okay. But if you recall, though, when we were doing that podcast in the vendor hall, I actually got a bag personally delivered by the man Matt Ross himself. During said podcast. So just saying that. Just saying.
No, I know. I think that might trump everything right there. You might, and I don't like to use that word. I think you might have. Yeah, you might have gone over on me on that one. Let's put it that way. But no, they do such a great job. Yeah. Love the spot. I mean, for cripe's sakes, they had jerky, they had cookies, they had popcorn, they had nuts. Yeah. It was all right there, and everybody walked by, got to see them, and I think they do a phenomenal job, and we're blessed to work with such a good company.
Absolutely.
So let's we have to talk about the elephant in the room is this, okay? And I got to bring it up. We threw down. I may or may not have almost thrown Mr. Toppy off the golf cart, but you and I never had our race.
We did.
We never had the race, and that's a problem for me, because I was prepared to beat you considerably, but it just didn't happen. You were busy. I was busy. I took the ride. That thing goes about 40 miles an hour, and it's street legal.
Yes. So it's funny. I actually had a conversation from our rep yesterday, who wasn't able to be there because he had injured himself. So I was telling him about our conversation with the guys down there and stuff like that, how we were going to have a race and we weren't able to. But I did say, the rumor has it that he's got they got some great equipment. So I'm hoping that they're going to be bringing something to buy here for us to check out, because I'm very much looking for one right now. So that's what we do, right? That's a great thing about the conference and the vendors. And shout out to all the vendors that were there, and the Mike Denise and the crew that brought all the great vendors in, and all these wonderful things that we do. But they're the ones who pay for our conference, right? So it's so important to be able every year for folks to be able to get out and see them. It was great to see Mark Hurley down there as always from Scoreboard Enterprises, and Mark's a guy who's been around as long as I've been around. So, that great opportunity to be able to build those relationships with folks who not just the other ADs, but also other folks that we work closely with.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's nice to see, people that come back year after year, because they become like an extension of your department. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, again, you look no further. We needed 2 brand new scoreboards in the gym. And of course, you know what I mean? He's always been good to me, good to you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go with somebody who's, takes care of business for you?
Yeah.
I will say this though. I think a lot of folks, and, I know that, I try to share the wealth. We met JD from X Grain. Yes, and
absolutely.
I think she does a wonderful job. I think a lot of people, came down and decided that they were going to give X Grain a chance. And I think that, I've received a free sample in the past because I'm a past customer, but I think all of the people that I've brought down there warrants maybe a second sample. I don't know.
No, listen, absolutely. And it's funny, I actually sent that information to you the other day, and thank you for reaching out and the different products that they had there, and you're able to customize one.
Oh yeah,
for what you want. I can't wait for that to come in. Like, I was telling my wife and daughter about that the other night, how I designed my own piece of gear and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool. Can't wait. One can always, in our profession, you can always use another quarter zip, right?
Well, that being said, I will tell you this. Okay, I had a little bit of time on my hands, and I reorganized last night. I didn't count, but there is a plethora, and I color coded them. So I got black, I got maroon, I've got gray, I've got blue, you name it, and that's the whole closet. Yeah. So it's almost ad nauseum, the quarter zip game. However, I'm a Catholic school kid, so I'm used to wearing uniform.
So there's your uniform.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
So while we're giving shout outs, okay, and this, I think Q, Jim Quattromoni mentioned it. There's a few rock stars out there, and I would put you in the conversation, but I would also put Tanya Rich in that conversation. What an amazing individual. Nothing sticks to her. She just gets it done.
Yep.
That conference is like the little engine that could. There's a lot of people just jumping in and making things happen, but at the end of the day, she keeps us all well informed, everybody organized. It's pretty amazing. She does one heck of a job.
Yeah, it's funny that how hard she works, and just like I turned around to her, there's something about talking to her, something after the business meeting when we met with the hotel staff. And I turned around to ask her a question. She's like, "No, that's already there. It's already done." The minute I feel like I have a great idea in my head, and boom, it's already there.
It's already there.
It's already there. In the drive, and for us to talk about different ways that we can continue to grow our product and make this offering even better and better every year. I think
we're at that spin though. We're at that point where you saw it ramp up this year, and I think I said it to a few folks that I go, man, this was like our conference on high octane, so to speak. Well, now we need to keep up at that level, right? So
absolutely.
It's the big 5-0, but I think we're at that point.
Well, we even saw, and I think Mike Denise had done this with had the pictures printed that we had hanging from the ceiling down the hallways and stuff like that. A couple of people stopped by and they're like, "Hey, that's a great touch that you guys did this year." I'm like, "Well, it wasn't me, it was someone else, but thank you." And a nice little shout out. We have pictures of student athletes who are, and as well as athletic directors. I think we need to add a couple of those in there as well. Maybe we can raffle off a couple spots. That could be a grand prize. We put someone's face up on a couple of those next year. I think we could do that. I definitely think we could do that. The other thing too that I thought was very well received was the TV. Yeah. And Mel Martin won a 55-inch TCL, which is not a bad thing. Absolutely.
But I think it also helped keep us organized with what was going on throughout the week. You got to see who's on the board, who's not on the board.
Yep.
And I think that for a low cost, might be worth it. I mean, I might see that again.
Yeah. No. It was other than the fact it was a little snug trying to fit in the back seat of my car to get down there. It was, great idea that you had, and to do something a little different. I already started going through. It's funny. Yesterday when I came in here on Sunday, was doing some stuff, going through those projectors and making sure we have anything. I was chatting with Carrie yesterday when we were going through and going over some of the numbers for the LTC courses. And shout out to Kara for the different offerings that we had for LTC as well. But like going through now, make sure that we have all that stuff and labeling everything that, projector one, boom, has all this, the different dongles, the different power cords, everything like that ready to go.
All of that.
And then, we have some plans to get things a little bit organized so we're not running around last minute all the time. Because that's important for us too, right? We want to be able to get down. We want to be able to participate in the event as much as possible as well, which is
that's the thing. I mean, and you know what, Keith, I think it's great that we've got almost 50 people on right now listening. Yep. And I think that this platform serves that purpose. Like you kind of like pulling back the curtain and letting people know like what we concern ourselves with. You want to be prepared. You want to be organized. We want to have this thing run like a top. And I think that, this is something that we say all the time that, this is a professional event, whether it be music, whether it be a TV, whether it be, whatever it is, we're trying to provide the best opportunity for everybody to have a great week. And even more so, receive professional development that you can't get anywhere else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to go, to get away from a little bit, because it's never really an ideal time, right?
Right.
To go around and to rub elbows with folks who are doing the same work that we do, and to be able to, pick people's brains and, hey, how do you do this? Or how do you do this? And trying to take something away from every conference to bring back, which is some things that we're able to do and stuff already. And, shout out to everyone on the board for all the work that they did. From Ann, Ann Tricko, our executive director, Terry Riley, Andy Cristofolio putting stuff out. All of our district reps, the 9 different district reps who were there, shout out to them as well. And it's putting that as well as the at-large reps as well. I'm trying want to make sure I don't forget anyone here, but a lot of hard work goes into it.
By the way, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Mr. Palladino says he's not a liability. Okay, he's not a liability.
Well, as long as he gets back and schedules those events, we'll think he's just got to respond to an email. That's all.
You love me some Anthony. Ant's all right. He's good people.
Yeah, he's good people. And listen, I will say, I was thinking about Anthony today when I was putting away some of the stuff. I did get a couple of Fox 40 whistles as well from the conference as well. I got Anthony, while we were down in Austin, it was, got some hidden talents and stuff that we didn't know about as well. Helping some people get organized in there and moving them in the right direction, which is pretty impressive.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I missed that at National, but we've talked about that. I don't want to bring it up.
I won't bring it up again.
Kind of a sore spot.
Don't worry. You'll be all set. You'll be able to make it up next year.
Yes, I will. I will. Absolutely. So Keith, now that we've wrapped it and rolled it in, and we're kind of at that point, what do you think is a must-have for next year? What's a must-have?
Ooh, put me on the spot here.
I'm sorry. I hate to do that to you, but
I think there's definitely a couple of things that I think that we've talked about a little bit already to make a couple of little changes and stuff. We talk about putting out the importance of that evaluation. Excuse me, that evaluation that we put out, right?
Yep.
That evaluation is so important. We say this every year, but we want to make sure we're hearing the feedback and then making those changes of what our organization is calling for. So I think looking at a couple of those things to do. I'd love to do some, I feel like we got out there frequently with the podcast, but I'd like to get out a little bit more. Kevin had talked a little bit about trying to do like where we're there in the midst of the Sweet 16 and March Madness, stuff like that.
Yes.
Maybe we'll run some different brackets and stuff like that and have that prepped up a little bit more to put that out and have some fun with it. To be able to do,
I'm with it.
You know what I mean? Have a couple different things and
I'm
maybe
working
give
on
out some prizes live as we're broadcasting. I like that.
100%. And if Mr. Toppy's listening, I'm working on a sponsorship from Temu. So,
talk about someone who is converted, who is all in.
Yes.
Who's all in,
Yes.
had no idea what it was, and all of a sudden he's in there, he's ready
Oh,
to
he
go.
can't wait for his stuff to come in. I actually
Yeah.
had to order for him because he couldn't figure it out. But now, you know, he's got something coming in about, I don't know, 3 to 15 days.
Anywhere between 3 and 425 days it'll be there. But don't worry, it's on the way.
I like where you're at, though. I think we can continually, you know, use the podcast as the vehicle that we need throughout the conference. Yep. But one of the things that I thought was great a number of years ago, and I would love to bring it back, was that kind of resource row, right? So, you know, I think we've all kind of taken some great ideas from each other over the years. I just put out an FAQ that, you know, a few folks have reached out about, and I know there's some ADs that do some things that I would love to hear more about.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we might want to consider.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah. I would say we'll take it a step further. So I'd say we just make it happen. And then what we do is we bring back, we just got to figure out the best spot to put it. But also to build it so it's electronic as well. So people have access to it right away.
Coach, I'm all about the electronic.
We did that a number of years ago with the new AD, the mentoring. We used to give out that 3-ring binder for everyone. Then we switched that over to make it electronic so people could just take it and make those adjustments and changes. We're not reinventing the wheel or anything like that. Absolutely.
No, it's a beautiful thing.
I like we had that.
Yeah. So I don't know what you got going on
list right now. That's in the list.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list, my friend. So I don't know what you got going on today. It rained last night. I have a field in crew guy, Cam, who's unbelievable. He's been on our softball fields since about 6:30 this morning, dragging, drying, doing whatever he can. And unfortunately, the sun's out, and we're probably not going to play because the fields are just soft, wicked soft.
I hear you.
It's going to be a roller coaster ride for the next week or so, maybe longer.
Yeah, no, and we just need to be able to clear through here a little bit. We have couple scrimmages today. We're supposed to, our freshman baseball team was supposed to open up today, but that's already been canceled. That was over in Concord. And I have interviews today and Thursday. We have an administrative position that's open. So be sitting in those for a few hours each day. And but again, as I said, unfortunately, I will not be able to join you all down and out in Westboro tomorrow, but I hope everything goes well and have a great time there.
No, I appreciate it. And, you know, obviously I'll be in touch because, you know, again, you know, we talk regularly and, you know, the Big Bedford Buck, you got to keep them informed.
Well, listen, we do have another meeting. We got to get that date squared away with because we have, you know, our former colleague, Mr. Fran Witten is coming down to try some pizza over at Treehouse. So we might have to have a big meet up there one day.
I love that. Fran, if you're listening, count me in. I'm good for a slice or two.
Oh, absolutely. Just 1 or 2. Let me tell you, it's outstanding there. So
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Features.
Well, I like where your head's at. I wrote down some thoughts that you just passed along. I know that they're now in the shared doc. Folks, for those of you that filled out that conference evaluation, thank you. We appreciate you doing that. I know that we're you know, constantly moving and grooving, and we're going to try to continue to make things even better. We didn't even mention Margaritaville, which I thought was fantastic for the Section 1 piece.
Well, let's do that right now. So, you know, the Big Summer Institute, shout out to Jen and especially Kara, who presented at the Section 1 meeting, bringing back the Section 1 retreat over the summer, at the end of June, beginning of July. Any LTC class, all that information will be coming out here shortly. They went over and orchestrated a deal with Margaritaville over the old Cape Codder. And what a great opportunity for learning at the end of the school year. Same rate, extending the rate a couple days before, a couple days afterwards. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I love it. And you know what? They did one heck of a job there too. Talk about nice. Talk about, you know, very beachy. You know, typical Margaritaville. But I heard that they did some updates. They got like a little wave pool. They got the slides. They got all of that stuff. But the area that you and I were in, with a bunch of other folks was first class, and I thought the food was excellent too.
Absolutely, without question.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Keith, before we wrap this and move, that evaluation piece it can be, you know, still filled out, correct?
Absolutely. No, it's still open.
Yeah,
so if you didn't get a chance, folks, to fill out that evaluation, please do. Yep. Very important.
Fantastic. So one of the last things, again, and you know, for me, it's a personal thing. Again, Gold Athletics, not only are they good for beef jerky, but they're good for everything. If
Yes.
there's something you need, there's something you want to do a fundraiser with your teams, your department, whatever it may be, look no further. Gold Athletics, the premium partner of MSSADA. Keith,
Absolutely.
we're signing off for now. I'll be back together again with you soon.
All right, buddy. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right.